Christian Molding here, Classic Hits Wake Up Club, joined by my counterpart, Nick, over in Country 104. Nick, what's weird is we've been working together now for a few months, and we haven't actually physically met each other because, of course, I work in Rosetown, you work in Kindersley, and outside of watching your videos on Facebook, I think this is even the first time we've talked face to face.
I know it's weird. Like we talk to each other literally every day in meetings and stuff like that, and yet I don't know if I've actually had a face-to-face conversation with you yet.
It's just the new way things are done. So, Nick, we have been, like you mentioned, communicating every day, and that's because of there's 60 Days of Summer giveaway. You've got the jar there in Kindersley. That's right.
Yep.
You've been filling it every day for our contest this week. First off, I think we started off, we had the Tootsie Pops. You had the water yesterday, which I have to admit, the water one was, I think, a little evil.
I thought the toothpicks was actually going to be the toughest one. I legit when I pulled it, because I had a bag of like 300 toothpicks that I just found in my house, and I brought it to work. I just pulled a random number out and just kind of threw them in, and I had no idea how many I had in there until afterwards, and I counted. So, but yeah, the water might have been a little evil.
It's hard to quantify, especially I asked you because I don't know what's in it until the morning, and I've been kind of wanting to play, and I asked Nick, how big the jar is, thinking I could work the amount of water backwards for weight that way, but he didn't even know the size of the jar, so I wasn't even able
No,
to do that.
I'm trying to see like there. I know it's said on the labels. I think it was like a 370 something, but I honestly could not tell you like 370 mils, and I have no actual idea.
I wanted to talk to you about, because we do know the amounts for all these things. We knew the weight for the water and all that. The guesses. Some of the guesses, we get a lot of people that are really, really close, but we also get a lot of guesses that are, I mean, way out there, way, way out there.
The worst one was the Tootsie Pops one because it was guess the calories of the Tootsie Pops, right? And there's 26 of them in there. I think people what they did is they Googled how many calories a Tootsie Pop is. Problem is the ones that I had were mini Tootsie Pops. So they were smaller than what everybody thought they were. So I think like people Googled it and were like, oh, there's probably like 20 some in there. Oh, that's like 1,000 calories. Okay. Except it wasn't. It was actually like only a third of that per Tootsie Pop. So that's where a lot of those inflated numbers I think came from. That doesn't make an excuse for the other days.
Talking about the Tootsie Pop one, there was a lady that commented on the Classic Hits Facebook page. She had the count of the number of Tootsie Pops, like dead on, dead
Really?
on. She had 26, but she was counting the wrong thing. So unfortunately for her, she didn't get entered that day. But yeah, Nick, obviously this week, all of these pictures and the amounts in the jar was to give away our outdoor prize pack, which had the gift certificate to Sobeys Liquor Store, the chairs, and the sponsors specifically for those were GMAC and I believe Pro Plus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks to them for filling our prize packs. But the big thing is, Nick, we're playing Facebook games every week now until the end of August. So we're wrapping up with the jar this week. What do you have planned for us next week on Facebook?
So next week it's going to be a little bit on Facebook, and you know this is something that we can actually play on the radio as well too to kind of get it out there. But we're gonna play Speed It Up, simple game. We are going to just take a song that kind of fits our station here. So you might hear it on Country 104 and Classic Hits. It might be different songs here, and we're just gonna speed it up a heck of a lot. All you got to do is tell us which song it is, and we're going to take probably the first 10 or so, because this one's a little bit of an easier game, a little bit easier to kind of get it. So you want to make sure you're listening in for when you hear that and when we actually post it, because then you get your name in, and if you don't, well, then you're too late. Simple as that.
Yeah, I know what we're going to do on Classic Hits. We're going to play it on air. People can call in and text. Too, though, if you want to leave the comment on our Facebook page, we'll take the 5 or 10 from those first comments to get it right, too. Nick, what are we playing for next week? What do you...
So we've got a few different things that we are playing for. It's what I've called our family pack, but realistically, it's kind of just a bunch of different stuff here. Starting things off for our family pack is going to be valued at $325. It's a family photography session that is courtesy of Sweet Pea and Lace Photography in Rosetown. There's also going to be a $100 Fountain Tire gift card from Fountain Tire themselves. And there's also a $100 restaurant gift card for a restaurant here in Kindersley that is going to be given away. And that is courtesy of, give me 1 second here to find that on my prize list. Wait for it. There it is. Edge Realty here in Kindersley.
Perfect. A lot of great prizes. And 2, Nick, if nobody gets entered in next week, can't get the songs, like I said, every week until the end of August. And then that big grand prize, the robotic lawnmower, coming up here at the end of August.
It cuts your grass while you sit on your porch.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
I've been calling it the Roomba for your lawn. So
I know. I've been calling it the same thing. I love it.
perfect. And Nick, first off, it was a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too. It's weird to say that after working with you for 2.5 months.
Thanks for putting the jar together this week for us and letting us play along. And yeah.
Hey, and thanks for playing along with me too, buddy. We got lots more games coming up for the next 7 weeks here. 7 more weeks of this. Can you believe that?
This is always a fun contest. When we were running it last year, we were a little nervous if people would participate. And it's just so much fun to get all that interaction on Facebook and things like that. So.
I think the first day we had just on Country 104's Facebook page, it was like well over 600 comments, and I think you guys had another, I don't know what, like 300 something like that too.
Yeah, it was around 200 and some. Yeah, so it was for classic hits. It was very, very good participation. Perfect, Nick. Have a good afternoon. Thanks, man.
See you, buddy.